Hello, dear viewers. We are pleased to have you joining us for a new international discussion initiated by the volunteers of the Creative Society Project. If you are not familiar with the Creative Society Project, we are people from more than 180 countries with the goal of building a creative society for our humanity. We are currently at the stage of bringing back the truth to people so they can realize the situation in which we are, and more important, to act to build this better future. On May 7th, an unprecedented event took place, the International Forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. It was streamed on thousands of platforms and simultaneously interpreted into 100 languages. And today, we are here to discuss how we can achieve our common goal, to live happily as a world community that value every single human life.
Thank you, Jonathan, and hello, dear viewers. I'm going to speak today in Russian. Добро пожаловать на международную
Welcome to the international discussion. And it is a very interesting platform open to everyone, to active and caring people for our future, for the future of the whole humanity. And today we are happy to welcome our guests. Kanu Eleke, teacher under the Arabic and Islamic Education Board from Nigeria. Hello, Kanu. And also, we have Etty Moyo, the teacher from Zimbabwe. Hello, Etty. We are very happy to see our guests and meet our viewers. And today we would like to start our international discussion from the short video, which is devoted to the forum, where people share their discoveries and impressions of what they saw.
Do you know that people stopped being silent? International discussions.
The truth is that when it comes to migrations and refugees, it is a business.
I saw the market where the children selling out openly.
4 days we were facing the sniper shot us and the bullets above our heads.
If we do not address such issues like human trafficking, tomorrow it could be you, tomorrow it could be me.
Politics is driving the science, not the science driving the politics.
Many people want us to stop to talk, but I say no, this reality can affect and can take your life anytime.
People are losing everything.
$270 trillion.
Where is the money? And where is the result?
This 12,068-year cycle is a clock cycle.
All these problems that we're facing right now, you cannot tackle alone.
Thank goodness we have the Creative Society
to choose human life over currency.
We're living in one big home, and if this big family fighting with each other, destroying walls of the home, tomorrow we will find ourselves in the streets without a roof, without the families.
From every corner, we can actually hear that it is not economically beneficial. But the question is, economically, it is not beneficial for whom? Isn't beneficial for us people to save our own lives?
We need to bring together all of the intellect, all to the science, all of the people that can actually do something.
I think that the members of Creative Society are the new and real superheroes.
These people already understand that we should urgently act. Do you want to become part of changes? Take action. Don't be silent. You are invited to the new season of international discussions. Watch the forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. Changes begin from you.
Indeed, changes begins from you, from us, my dear viewers, and I'm very pleased to be hosting today's discussion, going even deeper into this understanding together with our guest. I wanted to actually start with the first question already regarding to this forum to get a better understanding of what did you get out of this forum? What is the most important information you've heard during this forum, and what touched you the most? Can you give us your view on the information that you heard from the forum?
Yes, thank you, Jonathan. I have a chance to participate during the forum, and I must tell you that though it is not the first time, but this particular forum, that's the one of 7th May, it was another chance to really prove that we humans are actually desirous to live. The various discussants spoke on that which I would say the majority mainstream journalism, if you permit me to use that word, do not actually let us know. The orthodox sciences do keep some information from a lot of us, especially information regarding climate change, which is an event that we are currently experiencing. So that forum afforded me opportunity once again to have a deeper understanding, a deeper insight as to what climate crisis and the climate change is all tending towards. And it was also an opportunity for me to also understand particularly the current, let me say, crisis of food, hunger, famine, refugee problems. It was an opportunity to understand them in detail, in depth, as to why they are the way they are today, and to understand that it is important as humans, as people, that we should pool our resources together, that we should come together, take action, and take responsibility for the world we are in today, especially as we stand against that enemy, climate change. So for me, the forum is an eye-opener, I must say. It is opportunity for me to understand in greater details the situation we are in the world and what we as humans ought to be doing. That is what I took from that forum, Jonathan. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanu. Спасибо. Это действительно очень серьезно.
It's really very serious and deep, profound understanding before the climatic change. All people are equal, and only people themselves, when they are united, can confront that global threat. That is why it is vitally important to talk to each other, to share the truthful information, so that we could find the solution together. Only united, only people themselves can act for the sake of people themselves. And now I have a question to Etty. The forum does not leave any person indifferent. It touches every heart, but each person finds for himself something new that he has never heard before or has never known before. Did you have any points that changed your understanding of the current format of the society?
Thank you, Anna. The creative society we want to live has been a very big eye-opener for me, especially when I focus on the pandemic and the young girls and boys living around the world sometimes you see that the children are being pressured by the consumer market because everything is becoming expensive for them. It's becoming expensive for their families. So even the parents are also pressured to take advantage of their children for them to make money. So sometimes when you look at this consumer community that we're living in, you find out that young boys and girls are into prostitution, and when they do prostitution, they ignore diseases, and then you find young girls that are sick with a lot of chronic diseases, all because they want to get basic things, basic food. They want food, they want shelter, they just want basic things. So that really breaks my heart. So with the Creative Society, I can see that there will be a change if everybody spreads the word and focus on what is good for our children in our communities. So that's what I can say for now.
Thank you very much, Etty, for your answer. And indeed, a big part of the conference was really to draw that picture of the current format of society in which we're living, where a lot of information might be hidden or not fully disclosed to the majority of people. This forum was a really, as you mentioned, an eye-opener, really to understand that atrocity are being committed, and especially on children. And this is simply the format of society that we are living in. And by not doing anything, not wanting to change it, we're basically supporting it. We're supporting the suffer of children all over the world. So it is the truth, it's a hard truth, but it's nevertheless something that we should understand to be able to start doing something about it. So thank you very much, both of you, for your answers regarding the forum. One of the topic that we've just mentioned, one of the major issue, if you look at those charity organization and the ONU, the biggest one is anger. Indeed, people are suffering from anger from all over the world for so many years, even though it seems that those organizations are here to solve the problem, but nothing much is happening. We wanted to bring that topic through a video, an extract of the conference, so we can discuss a little bit further, not just the problem, but also the paradox regarding this situation, because there is already solution. There is already ways to feed people on this planet if we would just put our attention, our efforts, our money into the right technology. So let's look into this video and let's talk about it just right after.
Every night, 811 million people go to bed hungry, and already 38 countries are on the brink of starvation. We live in times of instability, pandemics, economic crises, climate disasters, military conflicts. They put millions more people on the brink of starvation. Are you sure you won't be among them? In the consumerist format, no one is secure against starvation these days. But it is such an absurdity. Why? Let's take a look at the technology that already exists. One of them is vertical farms. They have great advantages compared to conventional farms. They produce 300 times more food and up to 30 yields a year. They consume 95% less water and 80% less soil. They make it possible to grow various crops all year round without using pesticides. They don't depend on weather or location and require minimal logistics cost. Harvesting is possible even in Antarctica. Aquaponics. It allows simultaneous breeding of fish and cultivation of vegetables in a single closed cycle. Fish waste fertilizes plants, speeding up their growth by 40%. It is environmentally friendly and can operate in a virtually waste-free way without polluting water bodies. It doesn't involve pesticides and consumes 10 times less water. Yields from 1,000 square meters of land by this method equal to yields from 2 hectares of fields and 20 hectares of ponds. It can be applied in the tropics or an arid desert, and even on the roof of a skyscraper. Humanity has already learned to print food on a 3D printer and to grow fish and chicken meat from cells. Even food made of air is no longer science fiction. A Finnish company is building a factory to produce flour from air and has won the first stage in a competition to provide food for space missions to other planets. We have shown only a few examples of technology, but even they can already resolve the problem of hunger once and for all. Development and introduction of such technologies in the infrastructure of cities will provide people with food everywhere, regardless of crises and disasters. It will make the process of growing food products independent of climate, weather, location, soil fertility, or even logistics. In consumer society, hunger is a prospect for everyone. In the creative society, not a single person in any country of the world will go to bed hungry. It will be up to us, people, to jointly decide which scientific discoveries to implement first, while openness and transparency of information in the creative society will make it possible to ensure reliable control over implementation of our decisions. We really want to live in the creative society. And what about you?
Really, when you watch such videos, then you're full of desire to act, because not a single reasonable person or mother or father would agree that there is a single child who lacks food or drink. Even for the sake of one child, it is possible to change the whole world, just not to see these sufferings. That is why it's really absurd of this modern consumerist format of society that our technologies nowadays allow to solve all these issues, but they are not solved. They remain profitable. That is why they continue existing. And now I would like to ask Kanu, tell us please, how does it happen that in the modern 21st century, in the world of modern technologies, we have such a term as hunger?
Honestly, Olga, it is mind-boggling, very, very mind-boggling that a civilization that claims to, be at the peak of, how do I put it, of its modernity, that we could still talk about hunger in our modern age. But we see them all over, like what you rightly pointed out. No father, no parent, mother, anybody would want to see his child or children, go hungry. But it's all over the place. You walk the streets, you see hunger, staring you in the face. And the paradox is that it is hunger in the midst of plenty. When I saw the video, especially the technology that could avail us, humans, to produce more than enough food that could, go around the world and nobody would go hungry. Unfortunately, in the consumerist society, it's like this technology is not to profit everyone. People are still thinking about economic profits, and therefore we find it more comfortable, not embarrassing, to dole out money in charity to people. Whereas we could share technology, we could share knowledge. And If every society, every people in their different communities, in the different continents of the world could produce food, then why should we still have hunger as a pestilence in our society today? It's so unfortunate. With the technology we are seeing, vertical farming, aquaponics, and all that, yet humanity is still miffed in hunger and famine. I know that in Africa, if I must speak, let me narrow down to Africa, it is predicted that this year, a lot of countries are going to suffer famine because of drought, because of flooding, because of effects of climate change. Honestly, it is how do I put it? It is really a sorry situation that while we claim to, be at the peak of science and technological breakthrough, that we still, because of some selfish interest, this thing is not getting to everybody. Maybe if there is time, I would want to relate this to maybe some of the two fundamentals, pillars of the creative society, which I find very, 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 very interesting and very related to what we're discussing about. Maybe if there is time, I would like to relate them to human life and then to human safety. Unfortunately, a lot of money is spent today in financing war, causing more hunger, causing more famine, destroying that which we as human species claim, as human sapiens, the wise ones, we are supposed to protect life. But unfortunately, we waste our resources, waste our humanity on chasing vanity, if I must put it so. It's so paradox. I mean, it's such a paradox that in a world where we have this high technology, that people are still going about hungry. And when I say people, I don't just mean a few percentage. I mean the large number of people of the world, large percentage of the world population are going hungry. It's so unfortunate. But maybe with time, I can relate more. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your answer, and thank you for re-emphasizing on the very important part of this problem. We have the technology. I can hear people saying that we are too many people on this planet, and that's why we cannot provide food, that we should change our diet, ending up eating bugs or whatever kind of solutions people can find. But we do have the technology to grow proper food for everybody. And that is information that is actually not widely spread because it seems to be something new. For me, it was new not that long ago. So that's really show the importance of spreading that information. I like also the fact that you reemphasize on the fact that climate change is here and it's not going to get better anytime soon. So instead of putting our intellectual and scientific potential towards finding a solution, we are just creating more wars and not even leveraging the technology we have already. Nothing needs to be discovered. We have it already to create all of the food that we need. So it really, once again, showed this mind-boggling idea of the consumer format of society. But at the end, when you think about it, you realize very easily that a few amount of person benefits from it, and a large majority are just silence and don't try to create something new. But that's exactly what we are here for. So thank you very much once again for re-emphasizing those very important points, Kanu. I wanted to ask a question also for you, Etty. In what way the consumer format of society is really affecting people all over the world? Where are we heading towards if we are staying in this consumer format of society? What is our future in this consumer format of society?
Thank you, Jonathan. In this consumer societal format, our future is very scary to even start to think about it, because if we don't share the information that we have been getting from the creative society, people will not know that we are not going to be happy and live our lives to the fullest. Yes, we have never been in such a dangerous and dreadful situation, because with the consumer society is very dangerous. But what scares me is that we have enough resources and technology, science achievements in order not only to find a solution of all the crises we are in, and we also need to inform everyone and share the same after he or she will learn the information. So with the vertical farms that we have, it would be very nice if it can reach everyone, and then we don't have to have people starving. It's also going to help our climate to have a better climate in our society. So it would be very nice if many people can hear, and if this information can reach many people, so we can have a better future in our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Etty. Спасибо.
Thank you. Really, when you see this information and understand the perspectives of the consumerist format in which we are living in, it will lead us to abyss. Even having all technologies which are able to give everything that is necessary for people, we continue supporting consumerist format, we continue killing each other. If we continue supporting this format, no technologies will save us, because technologies do not serve the humanity. They serve those who earn money on these technologies. But if we change the format in which we are living, evolutionary, without any revolutions, but through the information of each other, through the fact that we are people and we understand and we express our wish and that idea of the creative society in which we want to live in, then even now these technologies which already exist will allow us to live in the society where there is no hunger, where each person on the planet will be given all necessary resources in the suitable amount. Because even now we already have vertical farms, which we have already mentioned today. There are technologies to produce food. There are technologies to take water which are already certified, which already can be used. Even now we have technology of 3D printing, which will allow to provide all people housing. And in the period of climate change, when the migration will be all around the globe to the places where people will have safety, where people will have suitable conditions. In the creative society, information is open and accessible to everyone. That is why scientists freely and openly can interact with each other. In open discussions, they will be able to find solutions and ways out of the situations where we are as humanity are standing, especially how to confront the climate change. Everything is possible in the creative society. We have all the technologies. The only thing we need to do is to decide that we want to live in the creative society and that it is possible to live in the creative society. Every person must know about it in order to make a personal decision. That is why it is very important to talk about the creative society and to inform people. And I would like to ask Kanu, could you please tell us What is the value to inform about the creative society, and why do you think it is important to talk? And do you support the idea of the creative society? Thank you.
Yes, Olga, I think the human salvation is in creative society. Because in a creative society, like listening to you, I was touched. It is only in the creative society that, those technologies can bear full benefits. Because in the consumerist society, the only value these technologies have is to enrich very few and then to enslave and impoverish the majority. So that change we need in us to bring out the highest moral, spiritual values that will make us humans can only be achieved when we understand those, let me put them, the pillars of the creative society. Like I told you earlier, those two major pillars that after watching the conference and in preparation for today's discussion, they occupied my mind. Those two pillars of human life and human safety. There is no way we could achieve or give priority to human life without consideration given to those things that make human life worth living. We are tired of surviving. We as humans want to live. And I think that is the theme or the topic of the forum in May. We want to live. Nobody wants to survive on pittance. So if we have and understood what the creative society is all about and internalize the values of the creative society, then human life being the top priority means things like food, like hunger, like famine, even comforting the climate change will not be a problem to humanity. And then in the world we live in today, there are crises all over. Humans are no longer safe. Like in my country, we have problems of armed banditry, people are kidnapped, people are abducted, people are killed, crisis everywhere. But all these owe their origin to the fact that in the consumerist society, majority are disenfranchised when it comes to getting means of livelihood, like food, like good shelter, like sharing of information that will now allow everybody to develop his personality to the full potential, like sharing of technology that will help to, make life worth living. So to me, the creative society is that ideal society, that dream society. If I say ideal society, I may not be saying it right. I think it is the real society that humans desire. So yes, I agree in totality that it is only when we are able to enshrine or rather build creative society, do away with consumerist format of society that humans can really begin to live. So honestly, the values cannot be just explained as a giveaway. It can be overemphasized, but that is what we need, the creative society. So that is why I think it is worthwhile if we spread information. As many people as get to know it, then the faster, the quicker we can establish it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very well description of the creative society. I really like the way you once again emphasize about the idea of the human as the center of this creative society, the first value that we should aim for. Every single human person has the right to live as a human, has the right for safety. And it's very important that everybody understand that for the creative society. Sometimes it may be a little bit difficult to picture what is the benefits of this creative society. And speaking of generality, might be difficult for people to perceive this for themselves. But when you think about a society, it's a group of people. What is another group of people? A family. If you live in a family, if you have children, would you consider having some of them not having any food while some other can actually eat properly? No, of course not. But society is a fractal version of a family. It's just a bigger picture. So if you cannot consider living and being the parents in a family of children where some die from anger while some other can eat, how can you live in a consumer format of society that is exactly the same thing in a bigger scale? So that's very important that we understand the benefits that every single person will be treated as a human being in a consumer format of society. In a creative society, everybody will be equal. Everybody will have the same chance to live and not just survive. Thank you very much, Kanu, for your answer. I would like to ask also a question to you, Etty. What do you think in this situation in which we are right now? What is the best way to spread the information? And what would you say to people not knowing but still remaining silent about the creative society?
The best way to communicate is maybe when you are just walking, you meet someone, you have to tell them about the creative society, because we all want to live in the creative society. And the more we spread the word, people will be aware that the consumer society is taking a disadvantage on them. So we all want to live in a society, but at the same time, sometimes things that are happening around make us so upset, and many people upset. So that's why they're saying the population of people nowadays is very angry, probably because they're hungry and everything is very hard for them. So, but we should never lose our hope. We have a goal, and there are so many of us striving to achieve it. So we don't see each other really, and sometimes it feels like we're not so many of us, but there's many of us, and we live as a society. So we can spread the information using our social platforms, telling people wherever you go, telling an individual, you see someone, you greet them, you tell them about this creative society and how to make their environment a better place. And we like to, it's also nice to organize calls with your friends and talk about the creative society. Thank you.
Thank you. Спасибо.
Thank you. You know, sometimes it seems to us that we would like to change something, but it seems to us that it's too big goal, that it's a beautiful dream, but it is not achievable. But the long way starts from the first step, and this step can be a smile and open and friendly conversation with a person about the important thing, about our future. And each of us can make this future beautiful with their own hands. Each of us can make the world where we all want to live. Each of us can live as a heritage, not some things which time destroys, but we can live for our children the world where we will know that they will be happy in this world. Is it not worth to act? Isn't it worth sharing and talking about the creative society? It is simple, joyful, and very pleasant. And it is also great that it's also interesting to talk about, because the creative society is a project of all people, and we ourselves can study those directions which are interesting for us, to study them from the scientific point of view or from a humane point of view. It is a project where each person can realize their abilities and their wishes, where time will be spread the way where we can work if we want. In the Creative Society, there will be a 4-day week with a 4-hour work day, but we will have the opportunity to create, to make something. We will be able to do something that we always postpone. But in the Creative Society, we will be able to do it every day. So that's why let's act right now. Let's make it closer. Let's make closer the Creative Society. We invite everyone to write to our email info@creativesociety.com. You can send your questions, ideas, offers, suggestions. Maybe you would like to participate in the international discussion, to share your professional experience or your personal observations. We are looking forward to meeting you, and we will be happy to see you and to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. And thank you, both of you, Kanu and Etty. We are very pleased to have you together on this international discussion. Thank you very much for your very inspiring and discussion and information that you give us, even though it's some topics that are very difficult to address, but you managed to put it in a way that make us hope for the best in the future. So thank you very much. I would like to maybe open for any last words that you would like to say to our dear viewers on the discussion that we have already, on something else. Any of you would like to add something?
Okay, let me say, in conclusion, I think let us take responsibility. The life we want to live, we don't want to survive, we can make it happen. And so let's take responsibility. Let us take action to bring Creative Society into being. Let's establish it, and we'll be happy for it. Thank you.
Okay. So I just want to say, because in the world where human life is valued and where human life is the priority, it is the world that I personally would like to live in, and I would like to live for a generation to come. And it is the time that we remove the fear, remove the obstacles, and stand as people to defend, to come up and support a world where human life is dignified and probably valued. So I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I just hope that we can be able to share the information to everyone to have a better society. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your last word, both of you. And once again, thank you for your participation. You are the true heroes. Like other people have been raising the truth, voicing the truth about the solution, not just the issues, but also the solution that we can all implement, that we can all build, which is the Creative Society, where the benefits, it's even hard to explain, because there is so much benefits that we will get from the Creative Society compared to a situation in which we are like right now. We will live, we will not survive, which is maybe the greatest benefits that we can understand very easily from the Creative Society. The idea now is not just spread the information, but unite, because it's in unity that we will be able to bring this Creative Society. Right now, the situation is the consumer format of society dividing us. We are divided by country, nations, by religion, political parties. All of these divide us, but we should unite, put all of this aside, think about us as humanity, and putting the human first, not the money. Let's use the money as a tool, like it should be, to develop of civilization, to strive for a better future, and make sure we can deal with that climate change that is affecting all of us right now. So thank you very much, everybody who wants to be part in this unity, because that's how we're going to make our future better for us, for our children, for everybody. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you very much too.